don't understand that the pendulum always swings the other way. What happens in a world where men become selfish? Because right now we're still operating on duty. Right now we're still operating out of selflessness. What happens when we become more selfish? What happens when men stop operating in their duty? I don't think a lot of people understand that world. But the thing is the pendulum always swings the other way. Men are going. You're starting to see it now. What do you think is what do you think is going to happen when they even the playing fields? When you start talking, when they start with all these laws that's starting to pass, where they're talking about how men no longer have to, how alimony is starting to become swing the other way, or how they're these new once they start passing these new divorce laws, you're gonna start seeing way more men exit these marriages. Because I think Shannon is right. You're starting to see there's a lot of men that stay out of duty, and then they still get left. What happens when the playing field is even, and men no longer feel obligated to do the things that they're supposed to do? I
think
don't
that,
know if. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, I think that's gonna affect men too as well, because a lot of the reasons why we do things is because of family. So when you take that family from that man, now it's gonna hurt other men, because who's gonna run the power grid? Are they gonna be? Are they gonna still want to do that? Are they still gonna want to do these jobs that a lot of people don't want to do? So we kind of got to think about that too as well. Get these brothers together.
I think, and I don't know if y'all ever watched the movie Mulan, right? Anybody ever watched the cartoon movie Mulan?
Nope.
One of the
Yeah,
one of the one of the songs that always stuck to me is when they went to war and they were singing. They said, "A woman worth fighting for." Have 90% of the shit that men do on this planet, we do it for our women and children. If like and if we have nothing to fight for, you're gonna get exactly what you're starting to see today. Less men are working, less men have a purpose, less men are trying. And like James said, then your power grid starts to fall off. Then you start losing soldiers when it comes to wartime. Then you start losing workers in the factories because they don't have anything to fight for. If a lot of men, if they don't have anything and all they can do and all they need to survive is a PlayStation 5, a couch in an apartment with no furniture, they will do that and eat fucking bonbons and goddamn pizza rolls and shit all day and wouldn't give a shit and would live off of that. But the rest of us can't survive if men are giving up because they don't have anything worth fighting for. Because men are simple. We're very simple. So when a man gets to be selfish, notice how simple his life gets, but how dangerous it gets for everybody around him when he becomes selfish. When men are selfish, it's not dangerous to the man himself. It's dangerous to those that are around him.
Hey, if I may, remember when Superman? Anybody? I might be dating myself. I think it was like the second Superman when Richard Pryor was in it. The
I
one
remember
with
that one.
when he gave him that janky kryptonite and made Superman just stop caring. That's what it's going to start looking like when we don't have a purpose. And it's unfortunate because when you think about how fickle the situation is, it really comes down to the fact that women, our women in particular, they don't really like us. And because they don't really like us, they'll deal with the amenities, they'll deal with the comfort, they'll deal with the protection that we provide them. But then as soon as the honeymoon period is over, she starts pulling the Tia Mowry. She starts looking for a way to graduate from a marriage, perfectly good marriage. And like you say, that constant part of us providing duty is what's still because as some have said that black men are pretty much, if we're going from just the dating pool, black men are the garbage men of the dating pool. We have the lowest standards of any other men when it comes to dealing with dating, dealing with marriage, dealing with the things we put up with and tolerate. Um, so when you get to the point where men who have been conditioned to deal with that, to deal with verbal abuse, to deal with, a lot of situations where it makes life uncomfortable for us, where we have to sit in the driveway for a half hour before we go into the house. and then we have to get up in the morning to do a job we don't like, where we're struggling and fighting on that job to not lose our jobs, to come home to a situation we don't want, eventually you do lose the motivation to keep doing that. So I'm looking for answers like you all are.
Yeah, I feel like we've
Man,
made a
it's
society
Superman
that's
3.
a
Richard
little
Pryor
too.
was in 3.
And that was part
Oh,
3.
okay.
Yeah, it was
I think we've made a society that's so comfortable for women that they no longer appreciate our needs. Right? We respect and appreciate the needs that we have for women, but women no longer respect it because they're working now for one. Although they're not working the same jobs that we are. Not those. They're not in STEM. They're not building infrastructure. Nothing like that. If we ever stop, it's a wrap, and we all know that. Well, the men know that. The women don't realize that because they're so used to it, right? And these women have been born into this convenience, right? That they have. It's been too sweet, and if we ever stop, it's a wrap. But they don't care because they don't feel like we will, right? And we never have done anything to prove that we will. So why would they appreciate you, especially what we've done as far as legislation, how we made it to where it's disadvantage for men all across the board, court system, laws, no matter how you spin it, right? So men are motivated to stay in horrible situations that they should never be in, right? And you've given women so much power because you're going to take this L. Your life will no longer be as it was, and you're going to lose your children. So a lot of times you're like weighing it like, man, do I really want to lose access to my children? Do I want to now live in the projects and because that's all I'm going to be left with? Do I want to go into ramen noodles mode? Do you want to trade your whole life for something that's several levels down from what you are right now? Or can you just endure what you're dealing with this female and try to psych yourself out so you can deal with it?
I got a question.
something. Go ahead.
Niggas is selecting the ramen noodles nowadays.
Yeah.
They taking the ramen noodles. They taking the ramen noodles in the 1-bedroom studio.
Bro. They seriously, Shannon is right. Bro. You're seeing it. I'm telling y'all. How many of y'all are finding? I know some of y'all own businesses. How many of y'all are finding it hard to find good employees? Like find hard. Like these dudes really are like, hey, look, I work these 5-10 hours a week. Go back to the crib, buy me some, get on 2K, and because they don't have shit to fight for. They don't have shit to live for, but themselves. So they choosing the top ramen, the pizza puffs, the pizza rolls, and they may get some strange from time to time and keep it pushing. And it looks bad for all of us.
But 20, does it really look bad for us? I mean, are they just tired? They just tired. They want their peace.
I say
it may not be worth the headache that they have to deal with. So if they don't, look, you got homeless people. Some homeless people out here are homeless because they don't want the responsibilities of an adult. Well, you got some men who's taking on that same mantra. They like, the hell with these women. I'm tired of putting up with it. Is it worth getting that 20-minute nut from these heifers? I'd rather just beat my meat with my lotion.
What?
And be by myself and be okay. And come home and be peaceful in my efficiency apartment. I'm content. They deal with it.
I guess the way I'm looking at
They're gonna go to the strip club, they'll trick off a little bit, maybe get patted on the head and slapped on the ass and keep it moving. Some dudes are like that, man, because they tired of the bullshit.